Good morning from Yummy Bean TV. Wishing you all well, of course, right? So, sore head, blocked nose, sore throat, everything aching. Who told me to walk down the road, giving it a big one, with just my t-shirt on in the cold, and Miss Muffet told me to behave myself. These are the consequences of what's been an absolute great 3 or 4 weeks or so with my new training regime. But I had to come up and do this video. It's a variety of ways, free incidents of some kind, right? Where you can post stuff on social media and really end up in a police station with charges, or even end up in prison, or end up with the third one I'm going to talk about. I like him. I'm not going to mention that name, but I think we'll be able to work out who I'm talking about. But the first case I talk about is a Yorkshireman, John Pilanu Booth, right? I hope I pronounced that well, but his name's up there. You see him in a thumbnail holding a gun. He goes on holiday to Florida, right? He holds a firearms certificate and is allowed to use firearms legally, right? So he's on holiday, he takes that snap, doesn't say threaten anyone, doesn't seem to be, this is a man with an unblemished record, by the way. And basically, there is a complainant out there who phones the police and says, I think he's threatening me. And in fact, he's been stalking me. And what else they did was put his picture in places that he never was as well, like someone's house. But he told the police once they arrested him, look, that's made up. I don't know how people can get a photo of you and put it somewhere. I've seen it done, of course. But he comes back. He says, look, mate, I ain't West Yorkshire Police. He says, I'm not threatening no one. There's no, if everybody, we all believe that someone put something up on social media and they might be talking about me, but they could be talking about hundreds of people, but someone's used it as to their advantage to get him. It's probably a relationship, a past one, right? He gets those 2 charges of threats online and stalking. They end up dropping the case and give him a public order offence for another offence that I've just explained about, where his picture it's not really him there, but they made it look like he was there. The public prosecution eventually dropped that as well, right? And like I said, a man with an unblemished record, yet they say sorry and that kind of stuff. Now, for the last few months, he hasn't even been able to come out of his house because he's been tarred with a brush that is wholly, definitely not the way he is. He hasn't spoken to his neighbours. We know when there's blame, there's a claim. But on this one here, I've got to say, it's only right that there should be a claim, mate. You can't go, you've got to investigate properly. If people are going to make, the complainants are going to say, yeah, I think he's talking about me, and you add other little bits to go with that firearm thing. Not one threat came out of his mouth, Mr. Booth, and my heart goes out to him. But again, in a variety of different ways, no threats, no nothing, no bad past. It can be used against you. A simple holiday, Florida, holding a gun, which he's entitled to do. He ends up in a police station with charges. Recent times, I've done a video on the ambush and Kiddervelly alleged incident, right? Where, if you want to look it up, you can see the video circulating on social media, where it is believed that Ambush allegedly is filming somebody that called him names online and has violated him with words online, and gets to see him and films it while that person who spoke out of turn, really, he allegedly chases him down. And he gets charged. And we find out now Ambush is in prison custody. It might be so that, some bouncer's probably right on that he's probably snitched on himself unwillingly without realising the consequences of what could take place. I know I feel quite sad for Ambush, and this is what social media does when you get hurt emotionally, and then you see a time to rewrite the narrative, so to speak, because it hurt you what another man is saying online. And you get a chance now to violate him in absolute person, The thing, I don't condone, I don't like violence no more, but it can be really hurtful. But you can't end up in prison for it. They're not going to need him to say anything, Kinavelli, or Ambush to say anything. They'll have all the evidence there, and it's a real sad state of affairs for a young rapper who's got a kind of promising career. I heard he was going to the States and all that. Now, so that's self-inflicted in some ways, right? The first one with Mr. Booth, he's done absolutely nothing wrong. This social media is really, really serious, right? The third one is someone sent me a video yesterday or the day before. It's a man that I like. A lot of us ex-criminals who've got traumatic pasts, right? There are times when we're really positive, and then there might be a day when we're in the dark. All right, Mumsy, nice one. Where we feel dark again. Little triggers, and then you might go on social media threatening in some ways to take out people, and the final stand, so to speak, kind of talk, my girl, nice one. You're all in. And you're going to go up there. But if you're going to name names, and you're saying what you might do on another thing, you might not even get the chance to do what you're saying. I don't believe that I could take this video that you sent me serious. I can't. I just think it's just a bad day, basically. And I'll urge people, if they've done this kind of thing, to take down those videos. But it can be used against you. And if you're doing really well, you don't really need this, because they don't need you to do the crime that you might be suggesting that you're going to do. There might be a crime already by even suggesting it, if you get what I mean. And if you're on license or things where you're being monitored by authorities, I would be really guarded. I've got a story to tell you what happened. The only time it happened to me since I've been out, and it's something similar to that, but not online though. You don't want to undo all the good work that you've done in recent years. Certain scars and trauma are always going to be there from that life. So many mixed up situations from the past. He died and this one got done, and the bad blood reigns supreme forever and a day, because it is a man's story, their life story, and things that have happened. Can they ever be forgiven? You leave yourself open as well. So people coming to look for you as well. It isn't really a good look going online and saying, showing, or then we even saying, an honest man, first thing I put out on this video, you don't do nothing. You can't be scared to post when you ain't done nothing wrong. But 3 different incidences, and they could all end up in similar ways, but in different ways, with more serious consequences and no consequences, because one of them had done absolutely nothing. But no, it's not really the place to be. But in my opinion, I won't go into that third one so much. But we want him to get in any trouble whatsoever. Bygones be bygones, whatever. Everybody's time comes in the end. But yeah, I didn't go into that last bit. The video's gone on a bit too long. But have a great day. And Ron, I will do that. Because I haven't done it, I've got a whole couple of thousand new subscribers, right? With a normal day in the categories, even though I don't really like to go into the prison stuff again. There's a lot of newcomers who haven't heard the stories from way back in the day, but a day today running of what a category A, a normal day, looks like in there. I will get round to that today, hopefully. Have a blessed day.